playing across the field. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Barnesville High School marching band, Honor to America, and the playing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner. And now remain standing as the band plays the Barnesville High School alma mater. High School, Friday night, we're glad you're here.
It's game night here at Shamrocks Stadium. Welcome everybody to this high school football contest between the Edison local Wildcats and the Barnesville Shamrocks. Hello everybody, my name is Brady Treehern alongside my host.
Cade Hannis.
And we are excited to be here again for a second straight week.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised they asked us to come back. They must not be able to find anyone else, so.
That's right. So this ought to be a very competitive game tonight as the 2-0 Edison local Wildcats come into here after an impressive win last week over Kickoff Valley.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game, and I'm pretty sure Kickoff Valley is a little better this year too, so that just shows that Edison's pretty good so far.
Yeah. So last week, a little recap what the Rocks did. They lost 36-15 against Beaver Local, and Beaver Local had a lot of athletes.
But did you see their game last night against Indian Creek?
Yeah, so they were up 42-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
So a very impressive performance, and I'm sure it makes Blake Allen feel a little bit better.
That just shows that Beaver Local was pretty tough, and that's nothing for the Shamrocks to hang their head about.
Yeah, so here a little look into the game tonight. Key players that we should be looking for on both sides. Aiden Hannis, Gage Hannis, and Jake Belay for the Rocks.
Yeah, Belay was all over the field last week on defense. And offense.
Yeah, and he had a really nice game. He stood out. He didn't do a whole lot there in the first couple games, but here last week he came back at a nice performance.
Yeah, he made plays whenever the Shamrocks needed him to, so that was huge.
That's right, and as we look at Edison, the key players that we should be looking out for is Vinny Marcino, Tyler Griffith, and the 6'6" sophomore quarterback Gage Klein.
Yeah, we were watching him pregame. He just made everything look effortless, like slinging around the field.
Yeah, he's a guy with this big, tall frame. He makes throwing it look deep really easy. It didn't look like he had very much effort into it at all.
He's just zipping it out there. It wasn't really trying to.
That's right. So last week, like we said, the Edison local Wildcats got a 23-14 victory over Kickoff Valley, and they're looking to go 3-0 here tonight. And now the Shamrocks are getting ready to come out of the locker room down at that north end zone, as you can hear the fans.
My uncle said they can't hear me.
And here come the Rocks. So Blake Allen's squad 1-1 on the season, and they're looking to bounce back after a tough loss last week. The Rocks won the toss, and they elected to defer, and they will be heading towards the south end zone towards Monroe County here tonight.
Yep.
Let's see who looks like the kickoff is going to be Aiden Hannis. He did last week, but I was kind of curious about that.
With that ankle,
last week.
And he kicked off to start the game, but then towards the second half, it was Gavin Carpenter after Aiden tweaked that ankle.
After looking there in the huddle, it looks like it is going to be Gavin Carpenter kicking off for the Rocks here. A little bit about Edison local. They are from Richmond, Ohio. It's about an hour and 15 drive here to Shamrock Stadium, so they drove a good bit. Just west of Steubenville, north of Caddis. So they had a nice little haul coming down State Route 800 to Shamrock Stadium. And so this is their head coach, Shane O'Brien, his third season. Last year, the Wildcats went winless. Actually,
really?
Which is very surprising. I watched some film on him, and it was hard to believe that. So here we go with the game, and here's the kickoff by Gavin Carpenter. It's a short one. It's going to be fielded around the 34.
The tackle was by Cameron Woods and Jacob Starr.
Nice play.
Jacob Starr played pretty well again last week.
Yeah, he really did. One of those things where you got a senior, and he's just got to step up and make some plays for you when things aren't going so great. So looking for a big game out of him on the defensive end spot tonight. So Edison will take over on their own 38-yard line here. It'll be Klein under center. And he's going to hand it off to number 30.
Ethan Wagner.
Wagner. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 there.
I was watching the highlights last week from Kickoff Valley, and it looked like they ran a lot of misdirection, and then they kind of ran like a fullback dive. It looked like.
Yeah, so they'll stay in this little heavy package here, like a near or far formation. They'll have that offset tailback, and they'll motion a lot of guys as you see right here. So Klein's going to roll out to his right, make a pass out to the on an out route. And that was intended for number 14,
Tyler Griffith.
He's a big senior who has a lot of potential for them.
Yeah, I was watching the preview on their on News 9, and they were saying that they brought his name up a couple times.
Yeah. Check that. He's a junior. My apologies.
That was Cameron Woods on the coverage right there.
Yeah, so Edison's going to want to line up and run the ball, but as we talked about that big 6'6" quarterback, he can definitely throw it too, so they got a nice dual threat back there. But they're kind of like the Rocks where they want to get running and get control of the game here. And he's got a man open just across the 50. And that's going to be number 20, Jaden Sanders. And that's going to pick up the first down, so a nice third down conversion there for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's like we did a lot of that my junior year when I played quarterback. Kind of roll the quarterback out, so it kind of gives him like the run pass option, and like if he sees green, he can go, and it kind of just lets him move the pocket out a little bit. Which I needed that since I could not throw in the pocket, so that was big.
This kid's got a little bit better of an arm.
Thanks.
So here Klein's going to be under center. He's going to hand it off. And that's to number 30, Wagner. And he's going to get stuffed right around the 2-yard line. So let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup here for Edison up front. Going from left to right on the offensive line, we have Russell, Wright, Fern, Hamlin, and Clancy. At tight end is Parsons, the big quarterback, Gage Klein. And then he'll be followed in the backfield by Tyler Griffith, Ethan Wagner, and Vinny Marcino. And out wide, Jaden Saunders.
The Marcino is 5'11", 215, so he's a pretty decent-sized boy running the ball.
Yeah. He had a touchdown there. I think it was 2 games ago. He had a nice touchdown for them. And he's going to pitch it. And that's going to go to number 14, Tyler Griffith. And he's going to pick up about 2, making about a 3rd and 7 here for the Wildcats.
That was Cameron Woods again there on the tackle. That's what, second tackle from him already, or
Yep.
or he had some.
Yeah.
Another player I see out there for the Shamrocks is Connor Johnson. Not Johnson, I'm sorry. Connor Jones. Did he play last week?
No,
I didn't think so.
He might have been hurt.
Yeah.
Taking a look at the Rocks defensive starting lineup here, it'll be Schultz, Starr, Lucas Carpenter up front, Belay, Jackson, and Woods at linebacker, Gage and Aiden Hannes and Bliss in the defensive backfield. And so here going to be a big sack here by Gavin Carpenter.
G-Man Carpenter.
Down.
They were looking to throw deep right there. He's looking to show off that arm.
That's right there. Gage Klein looked like he had a little bit of time, and then the pocket finally collapsed, rolled out to his right, and was finally taken down. So that's going to force a Edison punt here early, and I'm sure Blake Allen's thrilled about that.
Oh, yeah. That was Gavin Carpenter and Jacob Starr in there getting on the pressure. If they can keep the pressure up like they did against Buckeye Local, that'd be huge for this game.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's going to be a fake! This number 25 bringing around the right side, and I think he's got enough for a first down. A little misdirection there. It looked like he stepped in front of the snap and took it.
To be honest, I wasn't expecting that at all. I was looking at you talking. I heard some yelling. I didn't know what was going on.
That caught me off guard. That was number 25, Jacob Kusick, with the big pickup there for the Edison Wildcats.
Looked like a sophomore Bryce Hall on the tackle as well. I was watching the JV game from week 1, and Bryce Hall, he ran pretty hard for being younger, and he impressed me.
That's right. So here we go. Klein's going to drop back, and he's got a man open. And that's going to be close up around that first down mark. It looks like about a gain of 8, and that's going to go to, looks like number 2, Cole Jackson on the reception.
That was kind of Barnesville's problem last week too. They just kept running kind of curls or like a deep hitch, and Barnesville couldn't break up in time.
Yeah, Logan Krulik last week for Beaver Local, he did a nice job of that and had a lot of yards. So it'll be second short here for Klein and the Wildcats, and he's going to take a direct snap, and he's going to get hit in the backfield,
Connor Jones. What a play.
That's going to be Connor Jones, who we was just talking about.
Yeah. I don't think it's his first game back. I know for a fact he didn't play against Buckeye Local.
Yes. So he's going to come in and make some noise really quick here for the Rocks.
That was a nice play. What is he, a senior now? I think. I mean.
He's going to be a junior.
I don't know. Is he really? Wow.
So Edison Local's going to take a timeout here. Looks like Coach Shane O'Brien's a little bit upset about that last play and couldn't get the call in. You know, that's one of those things where big play like that, it's hard to get back up and focus on the very next play.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly don't even know where Jones came from right there.
No.
I think kind of caught me off guard.
He just shot in there, you know. As I was doing my research on Edison Local, it looked like they did a lot of quarterback power ISO too, kind of like Beaver Local did last week. And I'm sure after they watched film, they recognized that could be a way they could hurt the Rocks defense, and obviously they prepared for that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, if they were smart, I mean, that's what they would. I mean, they prepare for that.
So this is going to bring up 3rd and about 4 here with 7:32 left to go in the first quarter as the refs are trying to get both teams back out onto the field.
Trying to get the mic situation figured out.
So here we go. It'll be 3rd and 4 here for Klein. He's going to be under center in that near formation. They're going to bring a guy in motion as a lead blocker, and he's going to hand it off. That's the number 6, the big fullback, Vinny Marcino, and he's going to be close to that first down marker.
Yeah, I mean, Marcino right there, he just kept the legs moving, and he's able to pick up that first down. I mean, he's a big boy, so it's going to be hard to bring him down to begin with, but if he keeps some legs moving like that, it'd be a lot harder.
And I really like what Coach O'Brien did right there. He brought Griffith in motion, and they kind of they stopped it, and when they snapped the ball, using A gap, and he's just going to plow forward. And it's going to turn. Usually when you run a fullback dive like that, you don't have a lead blocker, so that was a way of them getting a lead blocker for their really good fullback. So here Klein will take the ball first down. He's going to hand it off to Wagner, and that's going to be gobbled up for about a 2-yard loss.
Jaden Lucas there on the tackle.
Jaden Lucas.
I look for him, Gavin Carpenter, Jacob Starr, all of them to get pressure on the quarterback all night.
Big Jaden Lucas. Funny story about Jaden. When I was coaching 2 years ago at the high school, he come out to me, and we was running conditioning outside, and they were starting to stretch and getting ready to run, and he comes to me and says, "Coach, can you hold my pasta salad?" And I beat my pants. I said, "What? I'll hold your pasta salad." And he pulls out about a half a quart, and here's Klein rolling around the right side. And Mike got back to the original first down marker. And Jaden looks at me and said, "Yeah, hold my pasta salad." And he pulls out about a quart of pasta salad he bought for convenient that morning. Didn't eat it all for lunch. He was lugging it around in his pocket all day. I couldn't believe it.
That's one thing I've never heard of. I mean, I've taken stuff out my pockets like change or something, but never pasta salad.
No, I couldn't believe it when he gave me that. So it's going to be about 3rd and 9 here for the Wildcats.
They're going to spread right here, actually. It's the first time we've seen that.
Spread 2x2, and Klein's going to be accompanied by Griffith in the backfield. He's going to take the snap. Looks like in all verticals. And he's got a man. It's going to be picked up by Aiden Hannis. Got a block from Cameron Woods. He's at the 25 to 30. The flag's going to be thrown in around the 30. And that might have been an illegal block. But a heck of an interception by Aiden Hannis.
Yeah, that was a big-time play right there with Edison driving down the field into the Shamrock territory. Looks like it was either going to be a block in the back or a clipping right there.
So, really big play there from the senior. That's one of those things where you want your seniors to step up, make big plays, and that's how they're going to win. You know, last week they just didn't simply make enough plays.
I mean, the first half, Barnesville was doing whatever they wanted to Beaver Local, but then I think they just kind of tired down a little bit.
Had a little fatigue, and they just simply made more plays, and that looks like it was a big emphasis for Blake Allen's Rocks here tonight, and they're starting out strong here with the interception by Hannis.
Yeah, Blake and Bryce Allen made the corrections they needed to this week in practice. It's Bryce Allen's first year as defensive coordinator.
Yes.
So that's something to watch.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for Hannis. He's going to fumble the snap. And it looks like they might have gave it right back to Edison.
It's not the way you want to start it right there.
Not the way you want to start your first offensive drive at all. Looks like a botched snap there. Hannes didn't get the snap fully from Jackson. And they're going to give it right back to Edison with better field position.
I mean, if you're Edison, that's a good way to respond right there.
Yes. So Edison is going to come back, bring the offense back out, and they're going to start from the 15-yard line here.
Looks like they're going kind of
and they're going into a wishbone formation, yeah. And there's going to be a play fake, and it's going to be incomplete.
That's really not that bad of a ball right there. I mean, no. I like taking a shot right there early, right after you get the ball back, and the quarterback placed it where either his receiver could catch it or nobody did.
That's exactly right. You want to put that thing in the back corner of the end zone.
Yep.
Looked like that pass was intended for number 6, Vinny Marcino. So they're going to get back in that wishbone here on second down. And he's going to hand it off to Griffith. He's going to try to get to the outside. Stiff arms Belay. Hands is going to try to make a tackle. And they're going to gain about 3 or 4 right there.
That was a pretty nice stiff arm right there, actually.
That's one of those things where you cannot let the opponent get to the outside on defense. You know, it's one of those things that I'm sure Bryce Allen's been harping on all week. Can't let these guys get to the outside. They got good speed, big backs. You just can't let them get to the outside and break through to the second level.
It's about 3rd and 6 with 4:52 left to go in the first quarter.
Klein's back in that wishbone formation, and they're going to hand it off to Sanders.
Looks like he ran into his own lineman right there.
He did. He ran into his own lineman, and it might have cost him right there. If he was a little more patient, he might have had something open up for him.
Kind of looked like a Mark Sanchez butt fumble a little bit.
That's going to bring up 4th and about 4 here, and it looks like they're going to elect a kick. But with the fake punter, if you're the Rocks, you got to be really careful right here. You don't want to have him slip a fake in behind you, throw something to the back of the end zone.
Yeah, that was a pretty risky move, like early on in the game. I mean, I like it. Definitely caught me off guard.
That's right. And it's going to be blocked. The kick's going to be blocked, and Belay is after it. He's going to down it. And I can't tell who blocked it.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was looking down at the roster. I missed it.
That was number 20, Jaden Sanders, to attempt the kick for the Wildcats. And that thing got blocked right up the middle. You know, that's one of those things when you're teaching your field goal block unit, you want to bust it right up to the middle. That's your best chance you got is up the middle.
I remember whenever I was in the All-Star game, that was I went off the edge, like when we would run our block, and Coach Shreve from Indian Creek, he always told me that you want to cross your arms whenever you dive for the ball so it can't go through the middle.
Looks like the men in white and black are trying to straighten some things out here.
I mean, if you're Barnesville, you love to see that after fumbling the first snap. I mean, that's huge.
That's a great way to respond by the Rocks. You know, last week they got ahead, and then it seemed like Beaver Local threw a couple punches, and then they never could catch back up. So it's nice to see them respond earlier tonight.
That's huge.
Now, hopefully, this offense can finally get rolling here after the botched snap on the first play last drive.
Wow, they're figuring
it out. Looks like there's some confusion here.
We could go through the starting offense for the Shamrocks are waiting.
So we'll take a look here at the offense for the Rocks. Going from left to right up front, it's going to be Schultz, Carpenter, Jackson, Starr, and Leisure. Right beside them, they'll have Jake Belay at tight end. Moving into the backfield is going to be Aiden Hannes, followed by Cameron Woods at halfback, and at receiver be Bliss, Detling, and Gage Hannes. But here it looks like they're going to maybe reattempt this. I'm not sure what's called here.
We must have missed something.
And it looks like Blake Allen's out there trying to get an explanation. I didn't see a penalty marker thrown anywhere.
No, they didn't throw a flag, so it could have been offsides.
Not really sure what's going on here, but I mean, if you're from the Edison side, I mean, this is huge. You get another shot at 3 points here.
I mean, yeah, I don't get what happened.
I have no idea why they're running this back. I saw no flag thrown.
No.
it looked like the offense for Barnesville came out and huddled up, and then the refs told them to go back.
Looks like Blake Allen's trying to get an explanation. Does not appear to be very
They
happy.
did not appear happy, like you said.
I don't get what happened there. And I'm sure you guys can hear the Barnesville crowd is not happy either.
All 300 that's here, they're sure letting them hear about it.
Oh, yeah.
So Sanders is going to get a second attempt, and it's going to
Wow.
be right down Broadway to steal 3 points back for the Wildcats.
That's huge for the Shamrocks. I mean, they fumble the first offensive snap. I mean, then they respond by getting a blocked field goal and then just get taken away from them.
That's right. That's super tough. I would like to get an official explanation on that play there. No, I have no idea what happened. I didn't see, like I said, I didn't see a penalty marker thrown.
No.
The only thing I could think right there is maybe they didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah.
And they didn't. They didn't set it.
Yeah.
And they snapped it when they were supposed to. But
I don't know.
Really doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. So the Wildcats are going to steal 3 points here and take the 3-0 lead with 3:58 left to go in the first quarter.
I'm sure I'd look to see both Gage and Aiden Hannis have another big game this week.
That's right.
Aiden Hannis is preseason Big 22, and that was well deserved from last year, even after getting his season cut short with an ankle injury.
So it'll be Sanders here to kick off for the Wildcats. Back to receive is going to be Gage Hannis, Owen Wise, and Spencer Bliss. And it's going to go back and be fielded by Bliss. Right around the 15. He's got a big hole up the middle. Try to kick it to the outside. He's going to get it out and around about the 38-yard line. So a nice return there for Bliss.
Yeah, Bliss really broke out the first game of the year against Buckeye Local. He had a punt return taken back, I think, and it'd be nice if he could do that again for the Shamrocks.
That's right. So finally, we'll get to see this Shamrock offense led by senior quarterback Aiden Hannis. I'm sure Hammond Jackson, the senior center, has got that snap issue taken care of, and they're going to come out in the I formation, and they're going to hand it off to Gage Hannis, and that's going to be wrapped up for no gain.
Someone blew up the hole right there. I couldn't really see who it was, but someone for Edison really blew up the lineman.
Yeah, it looked like they pulled that opposite guard around, tried to run power, and the linebackers right there for Edison did a really nice job of reading that. So it'll be 2nd and 10 here for Hannis. And he's going to throw a quick hitch out the Gage Hannis. And he's going to fight for that first down, pick up about 12. So nice pitch and catch there.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of a catch by Gage right there.
It looked like it was about a 2-step hitch. Hannis didn't even do a 3-step drop. It looked like he took 1 step back, planted, and threw it.
Yeah, they're trying to let Gage use his athleticism after the catch and hopefully break something right there.
Well, that's a really nice call right there by Blake Allen. You
got
your best athlete out there one-on-one, so you like to take your chances.
Yeah, for sure.
And so Hannis is going to roll out here on first down and find Jake Belay, the fullback, in the flats. And he's going to pick up the first down, get up to about the 35-yard line of Edison.
That's really all they do with Belay last week, too. They just dumped off to him in the flats, and he's able to pick up at least a first down almost every time.
That's right. Looks like Chase Connor, number 11, is going to check into the game here.
That's another key player for the Rocks. He left last week with a concussion, I believe, but appears everything's all right now.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for Hannis at the 35, and he's going to line up in the I. And they're going to pull Gavin Carpenter and run right behind him. And it looks like Cameron Woods is going to get about a yard there for the Rocks. Tough sledding there.
I was watching Edison whenever they call their defensive huddle, they all lock hands. That's something I've never seen before.
That's pretty old school right there, and I kind of like it. That's a nice look. You know, Edison's led. They got a veteran group at their linebacking core, and they're very deep in their defensive backfield. If they had a weakness, per se, it might be because they're a little bit young up front, but, you know, it's really nice to have those veteran linebackers run your defense.
Oh, yeah.
So Hannis is going to pitch it out here to Gage Hannis around the right side, and it looks like he's going to get about 4 yards here on 2nd down.
It's a good job by Gage right there to stick his foot in the ground and get north to south instead of trying to run east to west.
That's right. You know, it's one of those things where they want to string that thing out, run you to the sidelines. And And that's a nice job to stick in your foot, like you said, and get upfield and get what you can take what the defense will give you.
That's a lot easier said than done too, because when you're running out like that, I mean, it's just natural instinct to keep going like to the right or left.
So it'll be 3rd and 5 here for Hannes. He's going to fake the pitch, roll out to his left, throw across his body, find the senior. Jake Boulet's going to make a man miss and get down to around the 11-yard line. So a nice pitch and catch there. You know, that was a really nice compliment play off that toss. They faked the toss, they just ran and were successful with. Turned around, rolled opposite, and found the tight end / fullback in the flats.
I'll tell you what, it was a good look by Aiden DeBelay right there, but Spencer Bliss was actually wide open behind the safety. And he kind of came open a little late, but he was wide open.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here, Hannes. They're going to come in that heavy package.
Oh.
And it looks like Griffith for Edison's going to fly in there and bust things up behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he pretty much blew through there almost untouched. Looked like Connor Johnson was in there. Not Johnson, I'm sorry, I apologize. I keep saying Johnson. Jones. I look for him to really help out the Rocks. He's a big, strong boy.
So it'll be 2nd and 10 here from the 11-yard line as the clock in the first quarter winds down. About 35 seconds
Look at this.
left.
Gavin Carpenter is line up at receiver.
Look at this. They're going to motion over to him. Looked like maybe a little movement, but it wasn't called. Hannison's going to run out to the right, try to get a block. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 3 or 4. So pretty exotic formation right there.
Yeah, I mean, like my senior year, I remember putting that in wherever the lineman would run out to receiver, and he would kind of hold his hands in front of his chest and kind of block his number and hopefully catch the defense off guard. Just another good blocker out there. That's one thing that Aiden's pretty good at. Like if there's like a busted play, he's pretty good at like stringing it out and like making the best out of nothing.
So it'll be 3rd and about 6 here for the Rocks. Knocking on the door with 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. Looks like A.J. Detling's going to be split out on the bottom of your screen.
And like Barnesville at the timeout.
Yep, Barnesville's going to call a timeout. So both squads here pretty early on have both used a timeout.
Yeah. Yeah, 20 seconds left to go in the first quarter?
You know, that timeout could be for a couple of reasons. Maybe they couldn't get lined up, or maybe they lined up a certain way and they didn't like the look. So it's one of those things where you're not really sure why they had to use a timeout. It's unfortunate that you would have to use one that early.
Yeah.
But you'd rather use a timeout than have a busted play or a big sack right here. You know, you're at the 8-yard line, so you don't want to lose any more yards than you have to.
I mean, I'm not sure what the problem was right there on that last play, but hopefully they get it figured out right here. It's nice now that the sun's starting to go down. I feel pretty good.
Yeah, it was actually pretty hot. You know, it's pretty cool all day actually here in Barnesville. The clouds were out, and then right around 5:30, that sun came out. The clouds disappeared, and it turned into a beautiful evening.
Oh, yeah. Perfect night for football.
2 weeks in a row, we've been very fortunate.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Brady, if you look down the far left corner towards, like, the old field house, Edison has a mascot. That's something I haven't seen in a while.
That's right. They got a Wildcat mascot hiding behind the first down marker back there.
I like to see that.
He's down there by the
pylon.
If you guys can see him on the screen. Haven't seen one of those in a while.
I'll tell you what, my favorite mascot I've seen in person was Massillon. They have a live tiger that they keep in a cage.
So here's Hannes. He's going to pitch it out to Gage Hannes. It looks like he got a little bit of room. Couple blockers. Make a move.
There we go.
Touchdown, Gage Hannes.
I'll tell you what, that was a nice block right there by Belay. I mean, he really just kicked that guy out and Gage was able to cut off of him.
You know, it looked like Edison only had 1 or 2 guys out there, and Barnesville did a nice job of putting a blocker on each of them.
Yeah.
So here after the touchdown, Gavin Carpenter is going to attempt the point after. And your little brother, Holden.
Hopefully he doesn't mess it up this time. I won't let him hear the end of it if he does.
It'll be Jake Belay doing the long snapping duties tonight for the Rocks. Carpenter's kick is up, and it is good.
There we go. Carpenter, he missed a couple against Buckeye Local, but he's a pretty good kicker. I mean, if he's getting that groove, that'd be huge for the Shamrocks.
So here with about 13.8 seconds left in the first quarter, the Rocks are up 7-3 over the Edison Wildcats.
I wonder if we'll see a longer kick right here instead of the pooch from last time. You are kidding. It was pretty hot. I can see the sweat under your eyes now.
That's right. Looks like Barnesville scrambling, looking for the kicking tee here.
Wow, there was a football that came flying in the stands right there. I thought it looked like the tee. It was a little red football.
It's coming right at our faces. That's kind of like I went to the home run derby 2 years ago up in Cleveland, and we sat in the upper deck out in the right field, and every ball that was hit looked like it was going to go over your head, and you just looked down and it would land right in the stands below you. But it was one of those things where you just thought you was going to get your head taken off by it.
I remember one time I was at a Pirates game with a bunch of people from Barnesville, and Corey Rush actually caught a home run ball in right field.
Shout out to Corey Rush. So Carpenter's going to kick it off here with about 13 seconds left to go in the first quarter. It's going to be fielded.
Tyler Shreve.
By Shreve. He's going to try to make a move.
Nice hit right there by Bryce Hall, looks like. Yeah, that was a sophomore I was talking about, running pretty hard in JV. I mean, he's not a big kid, but he plays pretty hard for his size.
He really does. He's going to make the stop around the 26-yard line. So Edison's going to try to get something going here at the end of the first quarter. Probably time for about one play here.
I'll tell you what, it's kind of a different atmosphere this year at Shamrock Stadium because there's usually people lined up in the end zones. I mean, student section down to the right, and they're actually still down there, but they're in the corner on bleachers.
This will be 1st and 10 here for Klein. He's going to hand it off to number 30 Wagner, and the Rocks are going to wrap him up for no gain.
Connor Jones feel pretty good there from the middle linebacker position.
It's nice to see him stepping up
and
filling in there linebacker. And that's going to take us to the end of the first quarter. The Rocks are up 7-3 here over the Wildcats.
Connor Jones actually moved to Barnesville from St. Clairsville his freshman year, and he's got some family in Barnesville. I think that's why he decided to come back. And I mean, he's a really good kid, and you love to see him making these plays.
Yeah, he was one of those kids I really enjoyed my time coaching here. One of those kids that always had a smile on his face, really hard worker. Didn't say a whole lot, but, accepted coaching and wanted to get better, and you could see it. And it's a really nice feeling when you get them older guys that have been in the program for a long time, and they finally make their way onto the field, and all that hard work pays off. Quick score update. Looks like Martins Ferry is up 8-0 against Union Local, and that's early on there in the first quarter. Quick score update there. Ferry's up 8-0 over Union Local.
Just got some words of advice from baseball coach Jeff Miller, so we're definitely going to throw them in there throughout the game.
Shout out to Coach Miller. So it'll be 2nd and 10 here. It looks like a mixed direction going wrong for the Wildcats. And they're going to be brought down for about a 4-yard loss there. So things went pretty wrong right there for Coach O'Brien's squad. It's one of those things when you run a misdirection offense like that. All the timing has to be spot on. There's no room for error. It's got to be like moving like a well-greased machine. And, bad things. It can look pretty ugly when it's not ran right.
I'll tell you who does a really good job at that is Fort Fry.
Yeah.
Every year, I mean, they don't run a ton of plays, but every play seems like they run it perfect.
So it'll be 3rd and long here for Klein. He's going to use that big arm, and he's got a man wide open down the right sideline. And that pass was intended for number 50, Jacob Kusick.
25.
And that was the junior 6-foot receiver for Edison. And, man, they missed a huge opportunity right there.
Barnesville got away with one right there. I don't know who busted the covers or what, but we got away with one right there.
He had nobody around him. That ball just went right through his hands. A lot easier said than done to make a catch like that.
Yeah.
But that's still a ball that's got to be caught.
Yeah, 100%. I remember I had one of those against Meadowbrook my senior year, and Coach Allen definitely let me hear about that one. Well, I couldn't catch a cold that first half, so.
That's going to be a short punt here by Sanders. It's going to go out of bounds around the 45-yard line.
Kick goes out of bounds.
Looking here on the sideline, it looks like Hannes has got some ice on his shoulder, so it doesn't look like he's going to be coming out to take the lead for the Rocks, and they're going to turn the keys over to your little brother, C.J. Hannes.
Yeah, a sophomore, young kid. I mean, he's got the makings to be a pretty good quarterback, but he's still pretty young, so.
You know, that's the second week in a row here. Hannes has had some trouble with injuries.
Yeah. He's a tough kid, so something really has to be wrong.
You know, whether he landed on it wrong or what he did to that shoulder, I don't know.
I saw some people motioning like the pitch motion, so I don't know if when he went to pitch it, something went wrong or what.
So here Hannes is going to hand it off to his senior tailback, Cameron Woods, and that's going to be stopped for no gain. He's going to barely get back to the line of scrimmage as they were all over that one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Edison, I'd pretty much send a lot of people every play, knowing there's a young quarterback who's probably just going to hand the ball off first couple plays. I wouldn't be surprised if they run like a little waggle or something here soon now.
You know, that's one of those things when you get a young quarterback like that. You want to protect him, but you also want to get him involved. You want to get him going. So maybe like a little quick screen right here.
Yeah, get the butterflies out early.
So
Watch this.
They're going
Watch
to
this screen.
Toss.
Oh, no, never mind. My bad.
And it looks like he might have ran the wrong way. They try to get back to that play they ran earlier, and it looks like he ran around the right side instead of the left. It looked like they had a couple pass options out to the left, and he followed his fake the wrong way.
I was watching someone in the backfield. They were looping around for a screen, but I just must have completely misread that.
So that's going to bring up third and long here for Blake Allen's Rocks. So we'll see what the young quarterback's made of right here. Like we talked about earlier, Marcino and Griffith are two extremely talented players for Buckeye Local. Looks like they're going to bring some heat here. Try to get after the young quarterback. Going to throw it out to A.J. Detling. Make a man miss. He's going to stumble down around the 39-yard line. So nice pitch and catch there from number 9 to number 8.
I'll tell you what, I mean, I was kind of impressed by that throw. I mean, it was kind of looked like a quail, but, I mean, if it gets there, it gets there. I mean, I know firsthand as long as it might not look pretty, but if it gets a job done, it gets a job done.
That's all that matters. Kind of like Duck Hodges from the Steelers there.
Okay, that's a low blow. Don't go there. Well, we'll see how much you Browns fans are talking this year.
Okay. We'll see what the Browns are made of this Sunday when they play Baltimore.
I'm sure they're going to get stomped.
You think?
Oh, I mean, Baltimore, they got a pretty
Browns
good team.
beat them last year, though.
I know, but I mean, Lamar Jackson come back after the MVP season. Still have, I mean, they drafted J.K. Dobbins. I mean, he was listed fourth on the depth chart.
They did load up, but the only thing that worries me about the Browns is it seemed like everyone on their back end of their defense got hurt.
Yeah.
They lost their starting middle linebacker, Mac Wilson. They lost Greedy Williams. They lost Kevin Johnson, all in preseason there, and you hate to see that.
Yeah.
So
mean,
that's my only worry about the Browns.
Yeah. As their fan, you hate to see that, but as the opposing team, you love it. Can't wait to see Big Ben come back this year.
You know, he's got more wins in First Energy Stadium since '99 than any other Browns quarterback, and that's something that's got to change if you're Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking to someone in the crowd right there, so I wasn't paying much attention.
And there's Ryan Mead down there in the stands for the Shamrocks, the #1 biggest fan. So Hannes is going to hand it off to Hannes. He's going to bring him in motion. He's going to get around the left side, up around that first down marker. So nice run there by the senior Gage Hannes.
I'll tell you what, since Aiden had to come out of the game, the older guys, Gage Hannes, Cameron Woods, A.J. Detling, they're all going to step up right now, start making some plays.
So it's going to bring up about second 2 or 3, a long 2, I think, here for the Rocks.
I'm still trying to get used to the refs not touching the ball and the center keep taking it up. I mean, that's pretty weird.
You can see him out there tossing that beanbag around.
Yeah.
That's like the placement for the ball.
Yeah.
And that's going to be up to Justin Jackson. He's the center for the Rocks, and it's to his responsibility to take care of the football. Hannes is going to hand it off here to Cameron Woods. They're just going to plow right down the middle of the line there. And they're going to pick up the first down.
That was a
nice job there by the senior.
The line did a pretty good job blocking right there, but Cameron made a pretty good cut right there. I don't know who the lineman was, but they gave him a good turn signal, and he was able to cut off of it.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 24 with 9:30 left to go here in the second quarter.
Looks
And
like
they're going to put out Gavin Carpenter out wide to the
it's like
right.
Spencer Bliss in the backfield.
They're going to bring Hannes in motion. They're going to snap it. They're going to run a counter back to the left side. CJ Hannes will take it down around the 6-yard line.
He should have ran past that guy. I'm definitely going to tell him he looks slow. But I'll tell you what, I really like that play call from Blake Allen right there. I mean, young quarterback, they're not expecting a draw or anything like that.
You know, that's one of those things that Blake does really nice. He complements plays together. You know, anytime you listen to offensive gurus talk about their play calling, they've always got a play, and they've always got a counter and a counter off of that later in the game that you're going to come back to. If a play works, you're definitely going to run those complements later in the game. So they're going to line up here in a heavy formation. He's going to hand it off to Gage Hannes. And it looks like he's about the half-inch yard line. He was not far away from the goal line there.
Tell you what, this is like last week. Barnesville's they're pretty much running as much as they want to, and if they can keep that up, I mean that'd be huge.
That would be huge if they can beat up on that Edison defensive line. They're on about the half-yard line down there. So Hannes is going to lead the Rocks in that heavy package. And they're going to hand it off to Gage Hannes again. Looks like Edison was all
stood up.
I don't know. Looked like they were all over that one, but some Shamrock players are signaling touchdown maybe.
It's like the first person there for that defense was number 64, Jaden Clancy. It's like
Clancy's going to be a sophomore coming in at 5'11", 245.
Taking Woods out and putting Belay in.
So it'll be 3rd and goal here for the Rocks. Hannes is going to try to sneak it in, and he does!
Tell you what, I'm kind of mad that he scored the first varsity touchdown before I did.
So that's going to extend the Rocks' lead to 13-3. They're going to bring Gavin Carpenter on to attempt the point after.
Yeah, I didn't score until my junior year. Of course, he would score his sophomore year, so I definitely won't hear the end of that once he realizes it.
So here's the snap. Hannes is going to hold. Carpenter's going to kick it.
The
It's
flag.
Good, but we got flags coming in from the Shamrock sideline. Hard to tell who that was on.
What'd they call? I missed it.
Looks like it's going to be on Edison. And I'm sure they're going to decline that and take the points and extend this lead to 14-3 here with 7:45 left to go in the second quarter.
I was actually impressed right there with Barnesville's drive after bringing in a new quarterback. That's a good way to respond after a big loss from Aiden. I mean, he's a tough kid, so I hope he's okay.
I'm getting a couple texts in here. Looks like we got some people watching in Florida. Shout out to former softball head coach Leslie Skinner, watching all the way down in Florida.
What's up, Skins?
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, with the circumstances from like this pandemic going on, I mean, that's pretty awesome that Colton Strauss was able to live stream this for fans. I mean, apparently all across the country.
That's right. Of course, Strauss Films. Colton does a tremendous job.
If anyone out there needs some videography, he's definitely the man to hit up. He does an awesome job, whether it's weddings, sporting events. I mean, he does all kinds of things.
So it looks like the officials are going to bring the Rocks back to try the point after. So it's going to be an encroachment penalty on Edison, which you cannot decline because it was a pre-snap penalty. So the Rocks are going to inch forward.
Except they're going for
to
two.
The goal line, so they're going to go for it here. So Hannes is going to hand it off to Gage Hannes, and he's going to bust through the left side of that line for the two-point conversion. So I guess two's better than one right there for the Rocks.
Yeah, I mean, that's worked out for the Shamrocks right there. I mean, kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
That was one of those things where Edison got a break early on, and we get a break right back.
Yeah. I mean, they ended up getting 3 points out of theirs, and we got 2, so it's not that big of a loss.
So the Rocks are going to extend the lead 15-3 here over Edison with 7:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Back deep to return for Edison. Looks like it's going to be number 32, Talon McClurg. It will also be number 14, Tyler Griffith. And looks like number 3.
I'm having a hard time making it out
like
from up here.
Number 3, Caden Miller. He's a junior for the Wildcats.
You said McClurg? So it looks like they have him listed as a freshman.
Carpenter's going to kick it off down to around the 11-yard line. It's going to be fielded by Griffith, and he's got a seam. And he's going to get brought down by Bliss all the way over at the Edison 37-yard line.
I'll tell you what, Spencer might have taken the worst of the hit right there, but he brought him down. That's all that matters in the end.
That's right. You know, it looked like Griffith might be able to cut that back and get some more
Yeah.
yards. That's one of those things where, you know, in college you try to make a man miss, and if you can't make a man miss, make him hurt.
Uh-huh.
You know, that's one of those things in high school. Everyone just wants to truck and run people over, but you don't gain that many yards that way. So Klein's going to take the snap. It looks like he's going to hit number 25.
Jacob Cusick.
And that's going to be Cusick for the first down. So nice little hitch right there.
Yeah. Looks like he just found the dead spot between the linebackers and just sat. So that's a pretty aware play from Cusick right there. It pays to have good chemistry with the quarterback and the receiver right there. Like my senior year, me and Tate Dower, like we had pretty good chemistry, and like whenever I found a spot, like he was able to read it too.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line. Klein's going to drop back, pressured by Luke Schultz. That Rocks defensive line's going to get to him. It was the big man up the middle. Jaden, Lucas, and Gavin Carpenter's going to bring him down.
The mullet men. All 3 of them have mullets.
The mullet man.
I think that needs a stick.
I like that name. Write that down somewhere.
It looks like the motion man looked like he turned upfield before they snapped the ball, and that's a penalty in high school.
Looks like they're going to decline the penalty. And they're going to take the result of that play, which makes sense because otherwise they would have moved them back 5 yards. It would have been 1st and 15 when you just take the result of the play.
Yeah.
It's going to be 2nd and 17, so obviously that one works out better for the Rocks.
Yeah, but 3 out of the 4 starting Rocks defensive linemen have mullets. We just need Luke Schultz to grow his hair out now.
Luke, if you ever listen to this, grow your hair out as long as you can. Hopefully you can get here by the end of the season. So here's Klein. He's going to swing it out to his tailback, Griffith. And they're going to try to pick up some of the yards they lost. And he's going to get up to about the 43. Nice little swing pattern right there.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring up a long 3rd down here. 3rd and about 15 for Klein and the Wildcats.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, maybe something they try to attack here is those seams like Beaver Local did last week.
Yeah, Barnesville had a real problem of, like, they would hit that little quick seam route, and Barnesville had a hard time stopping it.
So Klein's going to have 2x2, and they're going to motion a trips to his right. And he's going to look that way. Pump fake. Pressure. And he's going to get the ball off. And it's going to be caught.
That's a heck of a play right there by, looks like,
Jaden Sanders with a nice catch right there.
That's a pretty good ball right there. It was right over the defender's head.
Looks like they had 2 intended receivers in the same area.
Yeah.
You kind of wonder if they messed up their routes there.
I mean, if Barnesville had perfect coverage right there, they could have covered 2 guys with 1 man.
This will be 1st and 10 from about the 38 for Klein, and he's going to drop back. And he's going to roll to the right and show off the wheels.
A flag in the backfield.
Klein's going to get up to about the 30-yard line, but there is that flag, like you said. And that might be a holding.
Holding, yep. Holding Edison. couldn't really tell who it was, but I saw it last second.
Well, that's a killer for the Wildcats.
Yeah. What's that making now? Trying to see the yardage once they set it up.
So they're going to keep backing them up. Clear back to the opposite 45. And that's going to
first and about 27.
First and forever as far as I'm concerned.
Kind of looks like you're playing Madden and you kind of like walked away from the PlayStation. You kept getting delayed game calls.
Made some pizza rolls and came back.
I think that happened to you one time when you fell asleep at night and you woke up. It was like 3rd and forever. Another flag.
A lot of discombobulation on the field. And it's going to be another penalty against Edison. That's going to back him up even further. And Coach O'Brien's just going ballistic over there on their sideline.
I mean, that's a big momentum killer for Edison right there.
Oh, yeah. And the Edison fans that did make the trip, they don't like that call one bit.
Looks like we got trips at the bottom of the screen for Edison. Single receiver up top.
Klein's going to take the snap, and he's got some time. He's going to shoot that ball out, and it looked like it was intended for, that was number 25.
Jacob Cusick. It was Spencer Bliss and A.J. Detling there on the coverage. It kind of looked like they thought the other person was going to jump up and try to pick that off, and really neither of them made a great attempt on it. I mean, that's just miscommunication. There's nothing you can do about that.
So that'll bring up second and a mile here for Klein. And they're going to run a little screen pass, and that's going to be dropped by Wagner. Looks like he might have a little bit of room to run down here on this left sideline.
If he catches that, they're going to eat up some yardage right there, so it's not 3rd and 32 anymore. 3rd and 32 with 6:12 left to go in the second quarter.
Not what you want to see if you're an offensive coordinator.
No. I mean, you just got to call somewhere here to try to eat up some yards and then...
You know, right here's a good spot for some kind of like, not like a major trick play, but some kind of like maybe hitch and pitch or another screen maybe or a draw.
Yeah. So they got trips at the top of the screen now.
So Klein's going to roll out to his right to the short side of the field. And he's going to have to get that ball off quick.
Takes a shot from Jacob Belay. That's a heck of a hit right there. I'd love to see that.
And his pass was intended for Sanders, and that went over his head. That's going to bring up 4th down. And I'm kind of curious to see if they can get this punt to the first down marker. It's that far.
Who they got back there punting? I can't see the jersey. Their jerseys are like kind of rolled up, and it's making it hard to see.
It looks like it's going to be Sanders. He looks like he's doing all the kicking duties for Edison tonight. And he's going to get that thing down around the 31, 32. Decent punt there for Edison.
Yeah.
That's going to at least change the field position here and make it a little bit harder on the rocks, you know.
Yeah. Looks like they still got C.J. Hannis in there at quarterback. So Aiden must still be banged up.
So after the nice punt there for Edison, the Rocks are going to set up shop around the 31-yard line with 5:56 left to go in the second quarter. The Rocks are going to come out in a strong I formation with that fullback kicked over towards the tight end. And they're going to pitch it out that way.
Pass.
Looks like it might be a pass. He's going to hit his man, Chase Conner, down around the 50-yard line. Cameron Woods to Chase Conner.
That's Chase Conner as he was coming off a big week against Buckeye Local. He got kind of banged up last week, so if he can stay healthy, keep making plays like that, that'd be huge for the Rocks.
So a little trick play there for Blake Allen, and it's nice when you get a momentum swing like that off a like not a good drive for Edison. You know, you want to come back, get a quick chunk of yardage, and keep that momentum on your side.
Tell you what, Barnesville actually got away with him right there. Gage Hannis kind of stuttered a little bit, almost could have been a false start.
So it looks like it's going to be all kinds of pressure on Hannes. It's going to be picked off. And it was picked off by number six, Vinny Marcino. And he's going to take it to the house. And that looks like it's going to be about a 42-yard interception returned for a touchdown by Vinny Marcino, the big 5'11", 215 fullback for the Wildcats. And I know they were relying on him a lot on that in their linebacking core, and the senior steps up and makes a play.
Yeah, I saw I watched Edison's preview, and they really bragged him up.
He's definitely showing off the skills here tonight, coming up with a huge play to get the Wildcats back into the game. Sanders on for the extra point, and he's going to boot that thing through. Looks like the telephone pole's going to save the ball boys a little bit of work and knock that thing back in over the fence. That's going to cut, and so Edison's going to cut into the Rocks' lead, and it's going to be 15-10 here with 5:26 left to go in here in the second quarter.
For Barnesville right here, you really want to bounce back before halftime, get the momentum back on their side.
You know, that seems to be the common thing we've been saying all night. You want to see them respond.
Yeah.
How are they going to respond to when adversity hits? And so we'll see what this team's made of. You know, the quarterback's out, your senior leader. It's a low blow, so you're going to see what this team's really made of here in about the next 5 minutes right here, right before half.
They really need some older guys to step up right here, take charge, show some good leadership.
So back deep for the Rocks. Once again, it's going to be Bliss, Hannes, and Wise set to receive the kick from Sanders.
Tell you what, I'd like to see Gage Hannes take this game over for the Rocks right here.
Well, here's the thing. If they got to kick it to him first.
I didn't mean, like, it'd be nice for this play, but I just meant, like, the rest of the game with Aiden out. Yeah, but I would definitely try to kick it away from him if I was Edison.
If they were smart, they'd kick it at either one of the numbers. Take your pick, because Hannes, the big senior back there,
yeah, we got some
kick it away from their
got some younger, inexperienced guys on the side.
They're going to kick it right to Bliss around the 15-yard line. Bliss is going to get tripped up.
Number 8, Tyler Shreve, senior quarterback DB.
So a nice play there for the Wildcats. And so with about 5:20 left here, the Rocks are going to have to try to get something going here before half.
I'll be interested to see how they respond right here after that momentum swing. Jaden Lucas coming in late right there.
Looks like the Rocks are trying to get set up. Going into that heavy package, no receivers. They're just going to turn around and hand it off to Gage Hannes. He's got a little bit of room. Made a man miss. It looks like he's going to gain about 14 on the play.
Play number 30 on the tackle right there, Ethan Wagner. I mean, if the line can, if Barnesville line can keep making holes like that, that'd be huge for the Shamrocks.
Looks like we got a stop and play here.
I'm not sure if he threw a flag or.
No, I think it was that the marker, the
orange
marker they've been using. So after the big run there by Hannes,
they're making Gage Hannes come out of the game.
The Rocks are going to have to put in Woods and Belay in the backfield.
Not sure if he's bleeding or his helmet popped off or something.
So he's going to have to sit out a play, and they're going to get back in that heavy package.
Jones and Belay in the backfield, Woods.
Looks like they're going to give it to Woods. He's going to be wrapped up. That was by number 77, Colton Hanlon for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Woods is met in the backfield right there. I wasn't really watching the line. I don't know if it was just a nice play by Edison or a miscue by Barnesville, but it's like he got to Woods in the backfield.
Gage Hannes is going to come back into the game for the Rocks. So it'll bring up second and about 12 here for C.J. Hannes. Here they come lined up in that heavy package. Edison has everybody up near the line of scrimmage. And it's a nice play there by number 25, Kusick. He's going to sniff out the toss and bring him down for about a loss of 6 or 7.
That's 2 plays in a row. Edison was able to beat Barnesville with the ball.
That's one of those things where it looked like they kind of knew it was coming.
Yeah.
Lined up in a heavy package, a young quarterback. They're going to send the dogs and beat him to the spot.
If you're Blake Allen, you're still on their mind. They're spreading it out a little more now.
So it looks like they're going to jump into the I formation here. Edison's still got a lot of guys around that line of scrimmage. They're going to fake it, throw back a screen to Woods. He's going to catch it. And looks like he might have tripped himself going out for that ball right there.
Yeah, it wasn't the best throw. He had to kind of run for it. It looked like he's kind of tripped up a little bit.
So unfortunate turn of events for the Rocks. And this is going to force them to punt here with about 3:30 left to go in the second quarter.
If you're Edison, you're able to capitalize right here on that. That's big for them.
Be Gage Hannes back to do the punting duties for the Rocks. He's going to get this thing off. And the Wildcats are not going to field it. And that ball's going to roll down to about the 37-yard line, fielded by Jake Belay.
Now, if you're Edison there, and if they capitalize, to be a big momentum swing with not much time left to go before the half. And for Barnesville, you really need a stop right here to prevent that momentum swing.
So we'll see what the Barnesville defense, Bryce Allen's defense, has in store for the Wildcats here.
I know I've been talking about momentum a lot, but that seems like what really hurt Barnesville last week against Beaver Local.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 37 for Klein and the Wildcats here. He's going to motion Griffith over, and they're going to swing it out to him. A nice block there. And they're going to throw a flag on it. It looks like Griffith is going to get out to about the 41.
Now, they could have called that a crackback because he didn't show the hands, but...
Well, I think they just called a penalty on Edison here, and that's going to back him up. You know, it looked like number 8, Tyler Shree, coming in with a big block.
Yeah,
He might have flagged him for that.
That was a nice hit.
It was a really nice hit. Did a nice job there. You know, it's one of those things where it's an exciting play, and it's fun to watch, but it's not fun to be on the receiving end, and that's why they flag all that stuff now, because it's so dangerous with injuries and everything.
And as a defender, you almost can't see it coming, especially on the D line right there, because you're not like looking for a hit from the left.
Exactly, and that's one of those things. You always got to have your head on the swivel. Always got to have your head on the swivel. As officials are trying to erase that part of the game, probably for the better with concussions and all the studies they're finding out about that stuff, you know, CTE, and you know, a lot of those effects can be pretty detrimental on guys after they're done playing.
Oh yeah.
And that's one of those things, though. A lot of martial arts techniques are being brought into the game, to where, like, when you block, you're going to explode with your hands first, and your heads will never collide. And it's taking a lot of that head contact out of the game, which is where the game's going, and it's where it should have been all along, really.
And a way to try to prevent like these head injuries, Barnesville actually got brand new helmets last year, and the new Speed Flexes from Adele, and they have chips in them and they have like this program on some kind of device. If they take a hard shot, it'll light up red on that device, and so that the trainer can check them out.
As those helmets for Barnesville do look sharp, you know, they got the traditional rocks in cursive as usual across the helmets.
I still love the look of it.
You know, it's one of those things, they've had it forever, and I hope it never changes. So after all the commotion, the Wildcats are going to take over with 2nd 20. Clyde's going to drop back to throw, and he's got a guy on the slant. That's going to be Kusick, and he's going to be down to about the opposite 40-yard line in the Shamrock territory. So nice pitch and catch there. It looked like he just ran a little slant from the slot.
Barnesville's having a hard time covering the seam and slant routes like to the middle.
Looks like anything over the middle from either the tight ends or the guys lined up in the slot. You know, they're having a lot of issues covering those guys. So with about 2:48 and remaining here in the second quarter, Klein's going to draw back to throw. So going to go out to his left. Looks like he's going to take a hit from Boulay.
Nice hit there from Boulay.
Down from behind by Luke Schultz. Looks like they're going to lose about 1 right there.
Yeah, that was a nice hit from Blair right there. I'll tell you what, he's been popping kids this year, it seems.
He's a player that has really stepped up for the Rocks. Extremely hard worker. Was
Oh.
really fun to coach. Oh my goodness, loved coaching him. And like I said earlier, it's just really nice when you see guys put in the work and then finally get rewarded with playing time and go out there and excel.
You won't find too many kids on the field that works harder than Jacob Blair.
Looks like they got that coverage rolled over to that right side of the field. They're going to try to run that slant again. And Klein's going to throw it behind Kusick.
Tell you what, Connor Jones got a good read right there, stepped up, looked for a run, didn't see it, dropped back to his 45-degree angle, and he didn't really touch the ball or make a play on it, but he was able to get in the way and disrupt the quarterback's vision, so it wasn't just a clear throw.
You know, it's huge having Connor Jones in that linebacking core for the Rocks. You know, they got Jackson and Belay in there, but Jackson being a bigger guy, former defensive lineman, pass coverage is not his forte. As Klein's going to swing it out on the out route. That pass was intended for Shreve, and it's going to be incomplete and bring up 4th down for the Wildcats.
Tell you what, he kind of bobbled it there for a second. He almost still made the play.
Looked like, like you said, he almost caught it, but it still wouldn't have been enough for the first down. But it might have gotten close enough to where they could
pen it a little deeper. Oh, or that, yeah.
So Edison's going to bring on Sanders to punt here.
Got Gage Hannis back deep.
A little bit of pressure there by Gavin. It's going to be a short one. You can hear that Rock sideline going ballistic, telling their guys to get away from it. And that punt's going to be fielded around the 26-yard line.
So Barnesville takes over on 3rd and 26 with 1:45 left to go in the second quarter.
See if we can get something going here going into half, get some of that momentum back.
I mean, even if they don't necessarily score, it's just big to get momentum going into the half, because last week on Beaver Local, they had that penalty against Barnesville down in their territory, and they were able to score there soon after that, and it was kind of changed the game.
Looks like Edison's going to take a timeout. According to the scoreboard, I didn't catch who the officially said took the timeout, but according to the scoreboard, Edison is now out of timeouts. Barnesville will have 2 remaining here for this last minute 45.
As we were saying earlier, how there's the different atmosphere here, and people aren't really in the end zones or along the fence like they usually are, and the cheerleaders are usually down to the left of the screen towards the end zone, but they're actually down to the right towards the new field house, and the student section is actually down there as well in bleachers instead of lined up in the end zone. I mean, if you're a student, you wish you were able to be out there like you normally are along the end zone, but at least they're able to hear and support their classmates.
That's right. So the Rocks are going to line up in this heavy package, pull Gavin Carpenter and Luke Schultz right
here we go!
Here's Gage! Get Luke Harris down the right sideline, and here's that momentum he's talking about. Harris is going to take it in for the huge touchdown.
And big things, no flags.
And that's going to be a 74-yard touchdown for Gage Get Loose Hannis. That's going to extend the Rocks' lead to 21-10.
I tell you what, Gage has the athleticism and quickness and speed to bust one at any time.
Boy, you got to compliment that Rocks offensive line right there.
A heck of a job by Carpenter and Schultz pulling right there.
They brought Carpenter through. They ran a little counter play. Carpenter kicked out the defensive end. Luke Schultz, the senior, pulls up through, takes care of the last man standing, looked like to be a linebacker, and there was nobody else behind him.
Carpenter for the PAT. Puts it over on the new field house.
And the kick is going to be good to extend the Rocks' lead to 22-10 with 1:32 left to go. So the Rocks, they didn't waste any time right there.
No. If you're Barnesville, that's probably one of the best answers after the last couple drives.
So after the quick score, Edison's going to have about 1.5 minutes left to see if they can respond.
Now, if you're Edison, you score right here. That'd be huge for them.
You know, just like 2 big heavyweights in the ring, just going back and forth. back deep for Edison. It looks like it's going to be McClurg, Griffith, and I believe that is number 3, Caden Miller.
Carpenter is still kicking off for the Rocks here.
Check that. Shreve back to return, not Miller. Shreve is going to be at the bottom of your screen. Will be fielded by him. Muffed.
He's Shreve is able to get back on it though after he drops it.
So Edison's going to try to take over here with 1:29 left to go at the 30-yard line.
Barnesville Gavin Carpenter kind of kicked it like towards our sideline right there, and I remember watching Ohio State last year. The kicker, he kind of kicked it, and there's enough arc on it to where the outside contained guy was able to actually run under it and catch it. I mean that's a Ohio State kicker. I mean, it takes a lot of skill, but
right.
That's still impressive. Carpenter right there.
So here's Klein's going to drop back in that shotgun, show off that big arm, and hit Sanders coming across the field. And looked like a deep end. He's going to have enough for the first down. Going to get up to about the 42-yard line. It's a nice pitch and catch there. Klein showing off that big arm in that 6'6" frame.
Barnesville, Cameron Woods, he was in the general vicinity right there for the play, but he's got to keep his head on a swivel right there and try to find the receiver.
You know, it looked like that play was designed to be ran away. It was. They had that deep end route, and they had guys running streaks, but they're really out there trying to block. This pass is going to be incomplete. And that was intended for number 2, Cole Jackson. That's going to bring up second down at the 42.
There's Spencer Bliss right there in the coverage, and he did a better job breaking up right there. And last week he kind of had a problem of not breaking up in time after the ball was thrown, but he improved right there.
So here on second down, Klein's going to come out with a 2x2 spread gun. They're going to run a little bit of a draw to Griffith. Snuffed out by the Rocks. Looks like Gavin Carpenter was the first man.
Two-thirds the mullet man right there on the tackle.
Jacob Starr is going to come in and clean it up. Instead of the Minutemen, it's the mullet man. I like that. So it'll be 3rd and long here with about 44 seconds. And really curious to see if Edison just lets his clock wind down. Kind of surprised the Rocks didn't try to use a timeout here.
If you're Barnesville, you cannot let any big plays happen right here.
Here's Klein's going to roll to the right. Had a man open. Sanders is over his head once again. It's going to bring up 4th down. Stop the clock with about 27.4 seconds left.
If Sanders was able to catch it right there, it was a pretty good play call and good execution. He would be able to get out of bounds, stop the clock, and give him another shot.
That's the 2nd or 3rd time Klein's missed Sanders over his head.
Mm-hmm. Got Gage hands back deep and Sanders the punt.
So here's the punt. It's almost blocked. That's a beauty. What a punt. Down to about the 22-yard line. Hannes is going to signal a fair catch. And that punt was a lot better than the prior punts that Sanders has put off. And that's huge for Edison because, a short punt right there, the Rocks they got 2 timeouts with 20 seconds left. Try to maybe take a shot or 2 and try to kick a field goal. But with that nice punt right there, that pretty much seals the deal for halftime, you'd like to think, if you're Edison.
Yep. I remember watching my older brother his senior year, and he was punting. He actually punted one for negative yards. That was the first time I've ever seen that happen in person.
So CJ is going to be under center, and he's just going to turn around and hand it off to Gage Hand and see if they get a big play out of him. Looks like he's going to get brought out of bounds for about a gain of 4.5, close to 5.
What you really want to do right here, if you're Barnesville or as a ball carrier, is just really hold on to that ball and just not even give them a chance to get the momentum back for halftime. It's like 2nd down 6 with 14.5 seconds left to go before halftime.
I expect the Rocks just to turn around and hand the ball off again to either Hannes or Woods and to see if they can bust one open. If not, take it right to halftime.
Yep.
That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to give it to Gage Hannes. Make a man miss! Make a
here we go!
There he goes! He's got one man left to beat! And looks like he's going to get brought down. with 1.6 seconds left to go. He's going to get brought down at the 26-yard line.
Number 13, Gage Kahn there with a touchdown-saving tackle.
The quarterback helping out his own cause. And that's going to take the Rocks down to about the 27-yard line. What a run there by Hannah.
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty impressive. We made a couple men miss. The line did a pretty decent job there, too, making the initial hole.
So this is going to give the Rocks at least a shot here at the end zone. It looks like they are going to just try to throw one up here.
That's all you can ask for as a coach right there is try to, let your athletes get out, open space, make a couple men miss, hopefully take one.
And that's why you don't just sit on it and take a knee right there. You just turn around and hand it off to your back and see if they can bust one open like that. Because now you got a shot here.
Yeah.
Now you got one play left here, and if you would have just took a knee, we'd be sitting at halftime right now.
I love the aggressiveness right there of that play call.
So we'll see what the Rocks are going to decide to do here. The ball to 27. 1.6 seconds left to go here in the second quarter.
Looks like Chase Connor. It's Chase Connor at quarterback now. I expect him to throw it deep right here.
Yes.
Give someone a chance.
Has a little bit better of an arm than Hannes. He's the junior. He's going to roll to the right. Looks like he's just going to throw one up to the end zone. Oh! It's just through the hands of Spencer Bliss. Looks like they had a touchdown right there. Missed opportunity for the Rocks.
I'll tell you what, Bliss was open, so was A.J. Detling going towards the post.
Not really sure what they were doing. Edison was doing with the coverage right there. Let a couple guys behind him in the end zone. The Rocks had a chance, just couldn't capitalize. So as we head to halftime here, the Rocks are up 22-10 here at the half. Few announcements to make here. Big shout out to tonight's sponsors, Ferrum Fitness and Ohio Hills Health Services. Those watching are able to donate via Venmo to @Barnesville-Shamrocks. Donations are greatly appreciated by the Barnesville's athletic department. And also on Wednesday, you'll be able to see the highlights from this game on Strauss Films' YouTube channel and Facebook page. So make sure Wednesday you go check out those highlights, and thank you to those sponsors. So we're going to go ahead and take a break here at halftime. We will be back on here in about 8 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together as we welcome onto the field first grade again our country, the 2020 Barnesville Shamrocks Marching Band. Under the direction of Mr. David Moorhook and assisted by Mr. Kelly Stafford, our station is Mr. Liza Jones and featuring Deputy Director Isabella Sweet. Our team is Top Killers. And our first song is by Miss Queen Bee herself. This song is released by Beyonce and features her husband and rapper Jay-Z. This song is Crazy in Love. flying piles. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Serbia. This song also won favorite song at the 2015 People's Choice Awards. Please get up and dance with us as we go and shake it off.
And we're back here, getting ready to start the second half here in about 2 minutes. Quick scores update from around the valley. Martins Ferry is up 22-0 over Union Local. Meadowbrook is up 22-0 over New Lex. Buckeye Local, who the Rocks beat earlier this season, is up 14-6 over the Toronto Red Knights. Also, another score, we have Malvern beating Buckeye Trail, who we don't play this year.
We have them scheduled for after that first week of playoffs. Say if we would lose, Barnesville will play them.
That's right.
One of those weeks.
So another team to keep your eye on there, potentially. Usually we play them every year, though.
Them and Meadowbrook.
Because of the shortened schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Another local score. How about this one? Who the Rocks play Shenandoah next week. Shenandoah was 2-0, riding high. It looks like Cambridge is up 35-0.
What?
Cambridge is off to a slow start, too.
Wow.
That one's a shocker there.
That surprised me because, I mean, Cambridge usually isn't, like, that big of a powerhouse in football usually.
Well,
Go ahead.
I'm pretty sure Cambridge is 0-2, I believe. They've lost both openers, and they really haven't been that competitive. And Shenandoah was off to a great start, and for them to be up 35-0, you know, barring the score, if it's right on score stream, that's a huge shock.
Wow.
So maybe little things changing down there in Noble County. So, and of course, they come here next week.
Yep, that'll be a good game, I think. It's Aiden Hampson's out there for the coin toss, but he was in a sweatshirt with looks like ice wrapped to his shoulder, or a sling of some sort.
I hate to see that.
God, that's
not a good
one of the biggest losses for Barnesville you can have. Not only phenomenal player, but like probably one of their biggest leaders on the team.
Another local score, one to watch out for. River is beating Monroe Central 21-0 at half.
Barnesville plays River this year as well.
That's right. They go to River in 2 weeks after they play Shenandoah.
Tell you what, kind of chilled off here now.
It really did.
Feels pretty good now.
Within about the last 20-25 minutes since it's gotten dark, you know, it's gotten fairly chilly out here.
Another adjustment to the football season is the 10-minute half times. It's usually longer than that.
It goes really quick here. That didn't take long at all. As Sanders gets ready to kick off the second half, it's going to be fielded by number 6, Bryce Hall. He's going to put his head down and churn forward and get to about the 35. So decent field position here for the Rocks.
Tell you what, he kind of lowered that head more than I would like.
Yeah,
I mean,
little
that's
scary there. It's a little uncharted territory.
That's after Ryan Shazier in 2017 with his back injury, who recently retired.
You know, you like a tough back like that, a kid that's not afraid of contact, but something like that, you know.
Yeah, I knew firsthand.
It's not what you want to see. So it'll be first and 10 from the 35 for C.J. Henderson of Rocks. They're going to come out in that heavy formation.
Carpenter in the backfield.
Followed by Belay. And they're going to hand it off to Gage Hannes. He's going to bust through that first level and get taken down by a plethora of Wildcats right around that first down marker, and I think he may have enough to get it.
I tell you what, Luke Johnson's offensive line has created some really good holes for Hannes to run through.
You know, as we talked about earlier, the issue for the Rocks last week was they got to the second half, and they looked like they were out of gas, and they couldn't run the ball anymore, so it's a nice sign to see them coming out and getting a push very early on. So they are going to move the chains, and it will be officially a first down, ball at the 45. And they're going to stay in that package.
Carpenter's still in the backfield.
He's going to be followed by Woods and then Gage Hannes. They're going to hand it off to Hannes. He's got another seam! And he's going to pick up about 13 or 14 right there. Nice job there by the senior tailback.
Tell you, he's close to busting another one.
It really looks like they found a weakness in the way they're lining up, and they keep attacking that same gap. Looks like Ethan Spangenberg's going to check into the game there, number 84.
Barnesville must have saw something from up top here that they think they can exploit.
The Rocks are going to have two tight ends. They're going to have Carpenter and Belay alongside each other in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to Belay. He's going to make a man miss. He's going to rumble forward for about 7 or 8.
Somehow he got through that pile right there. I mean, I lost sight of him, but somehow he made it through.
You know, the quick handoff right there. And looked like Carpenter led the way.
I mean, if you're Blair right there, and you couldn't ask for much better than Gavin Carpenter leading the way from the backfield.
That's right. Nice job there, too, by the Rocks offensive line. They got a lot of flexibility up front. You know, they got 6 guys that can play at a pretty high level. So it's nice there. Luke Johnson's done a really nice job with that offensive line. So Hannes is going to take it about second 3 here. He's going to hand it off to Gage Hannes. And he's going to plow ahead and pick up the first down. As the Rocks are driving right here. Lots of momentum here in the second half.
Tell you what, Gage is getting at least 10 yards a pop on like every single one of his carries starting the second half.
Looks like the Rocks can move the ball at will here. Do whatever they want to open up the second half. We're going to see how Coach O'Brien for Edison, see if he makes an adjustment here. Because I don't think the Rocks are going to get out of this formation anytime soon.
They need to make one quick.
Hannes is going to put Carpenter into motion. He's going to go out there and be a lead blocker. Hannes is going to make a man miss. And he's going to keep fighting forward, doing a nice job there. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 5.
Tell you, Gage is doing a good job keeping his feet moving after contact.
He's going to try to get on the edge, but Edison did a nice job sniffing that one out.
Cusick was the tackler on that play.
Trying to get this camera adjusted here. So it'll be 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line with 8:07 left to play here in the third quarter. Hannes is going to take the snap. It's going to be a play action. He's got Belay wide open in the flats. Makes a man miss. He's going to go for the touchdown. Jake Boulay.
I wasn't really watching because I couldn't see without getting in front of the camera, but I'm going to take your word for a nice play right there.
Nice play there by Jake Boulay. He had a guy right on his hip, and he kind of shrugged him off and snuck into the corner of the end zone there. You know, that's one of those things where Barnesville went run. Turn around, throw a play action on by the goal line when they're expecting run, and sneak one in for the score to extend the lead here.
I mean, Barnesville drove down the field in that heavy formation, and Edison didn't have an answer for it.
So Carpenter's kick's going to be good. That's going to extend here with 7:59 left to play here in the third quarter. Heck of a drive there by the Rocks. Love to see it.
Now, Barnesville came out of the half with a lot more momentum and energy than they did last week against Beaver.
You can see they're most certainly excited. Jake Boulay there. Nice to see the senior catch a touchdown pass there. Does all the dirty work. He's the lead blocker, so it's nice to see him get a touchdown.
Looks like Carpenter to kick off again for the Rocks.
So after the long drive, Shamrocks marched their way right down the field, and it was capped off there by Hannes with a short pass and a flats to Belay, as we talked about, and that's going to extend the Rocks' lead to 29-10 with 7:59 left to go in the third quarter. Carpenter's going to kick off here. It's going to be a fairly short one to about the 30-yard line. It's going to be fielded by Wagner, and he's going to take it up to about the 40-yard line. So after the really nice offensive drive right there, Barnesville's looking to keep the momentum, but it looks like we have an injured player.
Looks like Cameron Woods for the Shamrocks. That's another key player for the Rocks that they can't afford to lose.
Hate to see that, you know. Senior, especially on a special teams play. He's been on that kickoff team. As far as I know, he's been on it every year.
Looks like, hopefully just a cramp. Looks like Chris Allen is just stretching it out. Hopefully that's all it is. And I just watched Blake Allen kind of give him a little chest bump, so hopefully he appears to be all right.
Looks like he popped right back up, so maybe a cramp or a cleat something.
Looks like a cramp.
Cramp stretching a little bit. So hopefully it'll get him some pickle juice and get him back into the game.
It's such a weird thing, but it actually works. That was my go-to my junior and senior year.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats. Ball on the 39. And they're going to look to bounce back after Barnesville drove all the way down the field on them.
Looks like they're in a wishbone formation.
And so Klein's going to hand it off. The ball's going to be on the ground. Looks like the Shamrocks got it, and they do.
Justin Jackson.
The senior, Justin Jackson.
D lineman converted middle linebacker with a scoop right there.
He's going to jump on the football and get it back for the Rocks, and they got a chance to really put the.
I mean, this
close the coffin.
Yeah, it's a dagger in the coffin. If you're Barnesville, do you go back to the that heavy I formation?
Yes.
I certainly would. I mean,
100%.
Edison didn't have an answer for it.
That looks like it was exactly what they're going to do. Edison better get lined up here.
Especially with a younger quarterback. I mean, that's what I'd do.
Carpenter's going to be in motion here. Hannes is going to turn around. They're going to run a little counter to Gage Hannes. And he's going to pick up about 4 yards here. It doesn't look like Edison has a solution to stop this heavy package from Barnesville.
It looked like they covered it a little better that time, but the Barnesville offensive line was able to.
And this doesn't look good. It looks like Barnesville's running back, the senior, number 7, Gage Hannes, is down. Looks like maybe an ankle. He's having an awful hard time trying to get off the field as a couple of his teammates will carry him off. And that's not a good sign for the Rocks. Although Cameron Woods looks like he's going to check back into the game after that cramp.
You can't lose your 2 best athletes in one game.
No, that's extremely hard to overcome if you're the Rocks. You know, you got the 19-point lead here with 7.5 left to go in the third. This is probably one of those things now where Coach Allen's looking around. He's just seeing who's healthy still.
I can't really see too well on the sideline, but it looks like they're trying to stretch his leg out, so hopefully it's a cramp.
Hopefully it's a cramp. It looks like there's going to be a flag on Barnesville.
Don't know what they call it. I was looking at the wrong referee right there.
So that's going to back the Rocks up to about the 40-yard line. It's going to make it 2nd and 12 and negate the game Hannes just picked up. Looks like there's a little bit of confusion. The Rocks might have to burn a timeout.
You got 11 seconds left in the play clock, so they're going to have to hurry up.
They're going to have to hurry up, get on the ball, and snap it. Got about 7 seconds left.
There's miscommunication in the backfield.
He'll go ahead and get it off. Hand it off to Cameron Woods. He's going to try to get to the outside as a host of Wildcats is going to take him down. About a gain of 3 there.
Kind of make it about 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9.
So the Rocks trying to make the best out of a crappy situation right there. As they were struggling to get the right personnel on the field.
I mean, right before the snap, the 2 fullbacks they're switching position.
Looks like Owen Wise is going to check into the ball game for the Rocks.
He ran pretty hard against Buckeye Local whenever he got in there 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. You know, he's one of those guys that's just got 2 really good athletes in front of him on the depth chart. Hannes is going to take it around the right side. He's going to decide to keep it. It looks like he's going to gain about 3 yards on that play. That's going to bring up 4th down for the Rocks.
About 4th and 7, it looks like.
6.5 left to go here in the third quarter.
Gage Hannes is still not back in the game. That'll be something to watch for Barnesville.
Looks like he's got his helmet back on, though, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
Usually if you're hurt, they'll take away the helmet. So it looks like Barnesville's going to go for it here. And they're going to draw Edison offsides. And they're going to bring this to a 4th and about 2.
That was the first time that we've seen Barnesville draw someone off sides this year. That's a good discipline from them.
Good discipline by Barnesville. That's one of those things where it looked like Edison was trying to time up the snap. And you mess with your snap count a little bit. And Now it's 4th and very manageable. 4th and a long 2.
Big thing is Gage Hannis checked back into the game for Barnesville. Appears to just be a cramp, hopefully, then.
Looks like Connor Jones and Jake Belay in the backfield. They're going to lead the way here for Hannis. He's going to get met in the backfield. What a play by Edison.
21? No, they don't have a 21.
Not a 21 on the roster.
Something one made a pretty nice play.
He made a heck of a play. Looks like 21's jogging out the field on their side, but on the roster there is not a number 21, so sorry we cannot give you credit. That was a heck of a play by number 21 there for Edison.
So Edison will take over on the 32.
And it looks like Edison's got a little bit of confusion there.
It's like number 21 again. Comes.
Yep. So they're going to line up in the wishbone. They're going to run it. He's got a nice seam. That looked to be Wagner for the Wildcats, and he's going to get up around that first down marker. It looks like a gain of 8 there for the Coach O'Brien's Wildcats.
Was there a number 21 the first half?
I didn't catch it. I'm not sure. Maybe a jersey
Yeah,
change.
yeah. It's the only thing I can think of, unless we just didn't notice.
Managers will always bring a couple extra jerseys
Yeah.
in case of something happening. So looks like Wagner's going to plow ahead again. He's going to pick up that first down. As Edison's kind of mirroring what Barnesville's doing, getting that wishbone formation. It's kind of driving right down their throats.
So far, neither team's been able to stop it, so I imagine that's what they're going to keep going until one of the other stops.
Keep running it until they stop it, that's for sure. So it'll be 1st and 10 here from the 40 at the Edison at their own 45. They're staying in that wishbone formation. Klein's going to turn around and hand it off. It doesn't look like they're going to get much. Looks like about a gain of 1.
Looks like number 14, Tyler Griffith, is checking back into the game.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 here for the Wildcats.
So about 4:44 left to go in the third quarter.
Klein's going to take the snap. And it's going to be a play action. Pressure. And his ball's going to be over.
Interception.
Ball's going to be picked
Gage
off
Hannis.
by Gage Hannis. He's going to turn around. You got to throw the ball back.
That's another weird rule.
Trying to steal the ball from Edison there.
Tell you what, Jacob Starr got a pretty good shot in there on Edison's quarterback.
Nice job there. The pressure forces the interception. The Rocks are going to get the ball back after trying to go for it on 4th down. They didn't get it. So here's another chance with 4.5 left to go here in the third quarter.
They're going to spread it out now instead of going in that heavy package.
They're going to get in the I formation. Poole Carpenter. Looks like another run.
Owen Wise this time was the ball carrier.
He's going to pick up about 2 yards there. Tough sledding for the Rocks.
Looks like Isaac Thompson is running the play in now for Barnesville. That's someone's name who we haven't said much of yet.
No. Barnesville does a nice job of rotating a lot of guys in there, especially a receiver, running the plays in. A lot of teams nowadays will just signal a play in, kind of like Beaver Local did last week. So
they'll have some plays on the wristband.
Yeah. So it'll be 2nd and 8 here. Play action for Hannis. He's going to try to float it out to the flats to Jake Belay. Ball's going to come up short, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long here for the Rocks.
Edison was able to get 2 guys in there with a pretty quick pass rush. I couldn't make out their numbers, but whoever it was got in there pretty quick.
Looks like Barnesville's trying to get another ball.
It's about 3rd and 8 from Barnesville's 40.
Chase Connor's going to be at the bottom of our screen alongside Isaac Thompson. They're also going to be in a pistol formation, which we have not seen yet. Hannis is going to swing it out to Gage Hannis out in the flats. And he's going to get around the left side, up around the sideline, and get past that first down marker. So a huge play there by the senior to extend the drive.
I'll tell you what. I mean, with the way he's playing right now, all you gotta do is get him out in space, and he's gonna make a couple people miss, and very good chance he's gonna bust one again.
I think that's the first time I've seen the Rocks go into a pistol formation.
Yeah, they did at least once last week.
Once?
I remember you pointing that out one time, but tonight that was no, it was very rare. Tonight that was the first time.
So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Edison 49. The Rocks are going to stay in the I formation. They're going to split Hannes and Bliss down to the bottom of your screen. Wise is going to take the handoff. It looks like Marcino and a couple other Wildcats are going to bring Wise down after about a gain of 1.
How do I know if you gained 1 right there?
Also in on that play was Hunter Russell, number 50 for the Wildcats. Big defensive lineman.
Looks like Barnes is going to go with a trips formation to the top side of the screen.
Trips to the short side of the field. Not something you see a whole very often. Looks like Hannes is just going to turn around and give the ball on a handoff to his fullback, Jake Belay, and he's going to plow ahead and pick up about 5 yards.
Looks like Barnes is trying to chew up as much of the clock as they can with 2:20 left to go in the third.
You know, being up 19, that's a 3-score game, so yeah, like you said, you just want to chew up as much of that clock as you can, control the football here for the rest of the game, and try to keep them from playing from behind. When Edison does get the ball back, they're going to have to go very quick.
Kind of like how Barnesville was going to have to last week.
So it'll be 3rd down. Hannes is going to take a snap. He's going to do the exact same thing and swing it out to Gage Hannes. He's got a seam. Hannes on the sideline. He's going to get brought down around the 19-yard line. So nice pitch and catch there on the swing route from Hannes to Hannes.
I'll tell you what, Chase Connor threw a heck of a block right there. He was able to get that defender and turn him and give Gage Hannes a good turn signal to cut off of him right there.
Nice job blocking out on the perimeter for the Rocks. And that's a sign of good coaching right there, because that's something that's not easy to do.
So we got Ethan Spangenberg checking in the game at tight end. Looks like they're going to go the heavy formation again.
And they're going to jump back into the heavy formation. Like you said, Carpenter and Belay in the backfield. CJ's going to turn around and hand it off to Cameron Woods.
The ball pops out.
The ball's on the ground.
I thought so.
It looked like it. Sure did.
Something went flying.
Well, Chase Connor's going to come up with the football.
Yeah.
But they might have marked Woods down regardless.
Makes it 2nd and 7 with under a minute left to go in the third quarter. Tell you what, Barnesville can keep controlling the clock and sustain these long drives. It's Edison's going to have a hard time coming back.
So this is going to be a huge opportunity here. Edison can get a stop here, force a long 3rd down, and maybe get the chance to get the ball back. That's what they're going to have to do. Looks like Barnes is going to run a trap. And the
ball's on the ground again right there.
Looks like a botched handoff, and Hannes is going to fall back on the football. Pulling guard there, quick handoff, and a young quarterback. Most likely why the ball is on the ground.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Barnesville may be up by 3 scores, but the game is not over yet. If Edison's able to get a stop right here, get the ball back, go score quickly, get the ball back quickly again by an onside kick or a turnover quickly, we still have a game on our hands.
There's still a lot of game left as the clock officially goes to zeros at the end here of the third quarter. It is the Rocks 29, Edison 10. With 12 minutes left in this ball game. Like you said, this game is not over. A pair of touchdowns, maybe a 2-point conversion and a field goal. That's what it would take for Edison here. So this game is not out of reach yet.
No.
Big 3rd down here for Edison, so they're looking to get off the field here and try to get some momentum back.
Yep.
So, also for Edison, I'm sure Coach O'Brien's really relying on that veteran linebacking core to come up here with a big stop. 3rd and 10. being up 3 scores, this is probably another one of those downs where you either run maybe a little swing pass again, or you just turn around and hand it off to your best athlete.
You're also getting down into the part of the field where there's not as much room to work with, so
Right.
swing pass would be harder to execute right here.
Looks like they're going to bring out that heavy package.
But with Owen Wise at tailback this time.
Looks like Spangenberg and Connor are the tight ends. Hannes is going to take the snap, and he's going to fake it. It's going to be a screen to Connor, and he's got a little bit of room to work with. Nice block there by Jay Lucas. Luke Schultz is out there trying to lead the way. Connor's going to get brought down around the 6-yard line. Look to be brought down by number 8, Tyler Shreve for Edison. So he saves a touchdown. So that's going to be a first down for the Rocks. So really good play right there.
I tell you what, if Schultz is able to get there a split second sooner, or Connor waits a split second, odds are he's able to read that block right there and score. That was a heck of a tackle right there by, who was it, Shreve?
Shreve.
He went through Schultz and was able to tackle Connor.
So it'll be first and goal here. Hannes is going to turn around and hand it off to Cameron Woods. And it looks like number 25, and that's going to be Jacob Kusick, is going to bring him down in the backfield. I don't know if they're going to give him a yard maybe. Not a whole lot going on for the Rocks.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying to pound it down Edison's throat, but you're getting to the red zone. It's harder to do that because they're going to stack the box a little more because there's not as much of a threat as like a bigger play.
Looking at Edison here, they've got, looks like 3 or 4 guys down, a couple OBs pulled up tight, and they're going to bring pressure on Hansen.
Open.
He's got to get rid of it, throws it into the end zone. It was intended for Ethan Spangenberg. And that ball's going to be inbound. So Hannes looking for his counterpart, the big tight end Ethan Spangenberg. Rocks come up empty there on second down.
Edison had a pretty good pressure right there off the edge.
So it'll be third and goal here from the 6 with 10:39 left to play here in the fourth quarter. The Rocks are going to send Gavin Carpenter in motion to that left side. They're going to run a counter back to the right side. Hannes is going to be tripped up, but he's still going to roll forward for 4 yards. And it looked like number 6, Vinny Marcino, tripped him up in the backfield, but Hannes was able to scrap about 3 or 4 yards out of that play. So nice job by the senior.
So I tell you, he looked like he started getting tripped up in the backfield.
He
was able to somehow get a couple yards. This takes it to 4th down. This is a big play for Barnesville right here.
So we'll see what Edison's defense is made of. Looks like they're going to stack the box. And they've got 5 defensive linemen in a 3-point stance, and they are all looking inside as the Rocks are in a heavy package. They're going to hand it off to Gage Hannes. And he's in! Touchdown! Gage Hannes! With a 2-yard touchdown run. That's going to extend the Rocks' lead to 35-10 with 9:53 left to play here in the fourth.
Gage did a good job lowering the shoulder right there, knowing he's on the goal line, able to fall into the end zone. Looks like Barnesville went on 2 right there as well. I saw some defensive linemen kind of jump at the same time.
High snap. Carpenter's still going to try to kick it. It's not going to have enough to get there. Looked like a little bit of discombobulation. That's going to keep the Rocks' lead at 35-10 with 9:53 left to play in the fourth.
Tell you what, if Edison wants to come back right here, they have to score quick.
So we'll see what Coach O'Brien's Wildcats can conjure up here. Like you said, being down 25 points here, they're going to have to score it at least, let's see, 4 times. So that's a tall task with 9 minutes left.
Yeah, it really is. Martins Ferry, they said Martins Ferry 20-12 over Union Local right now.
Also, another local score, St. Clairsville and East Liverpool are tied 13-13. Buckeye locals beating Toronto 14-6.
River 28, Monroe Central 6.
Also looks like River is up 28-6 over Monroe Central.
Looks like Carpenter's been kicking off from the left hash right here this time.
Greenberg 35, Shenandoah on left to 20, nothing.
What's the Shenandoah score while you have it up?
35-0 finals, what it's reading.
Wow.
Cannot believe that. As Carpenter kicks it off, and it's going to be fielded around the 31-yard line. A couple guys on the ground here.
Don't know what happened there.
So it'll be 1st and 10 here for the Wildcats at the 35-yard line. We'll see what we will see what Gage Klein and the Wildcats can conjure up here. They got to score quick. They haven't had the ball much this second.
No. Barnesville's really controlled the clock. I can see why they have Jake Boulay at fullback instead of quarterback. I just watched him throw that ball up from the field, and it kind of looked like me my junior year.
So the Wildcats are going to line up in a wishbone formation here. Klein's going to turn around and hand it off. And looks like a little bit of room here. And with the carry, that was number 22, Talon McClure. And he's going to gain about 5 yards there for the Wildcats.
It's like Boulay in there. The tackle was again. Carpenter almost got to him in the backfield right there.
That's an art in itself. Shedding blocks as a defensive lineman, you want to stand that offensive lineman up, keep them square, and then as you read where the ball carrier is going to go, you want to try to rip underneath and get his hands off you and make a play. And that's a very hard thing for guys to do. At a younger level, a lot of guys don't understand how to shed a block properly.
Jake Boulay! I tell you what, he came through untouched right there.
He did.
They call him middle linebacker blitz, and he came through untouched.
Looked like they pulled a guard, and he filled right in the empty tracks, which he left, read the play, and brought him down for a big 5-yard loss. That's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats.
Tell you what, that's a big play. It takes him from 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 10.
Well, now 3rd and 5, they can probably stay in a heavy package, maybe call play action or try to run it again. 4-down territory, being down as much as they are. But now they have to go to a shotgun and throw it.
They're going to spread it out and go trips now.
So this is a good chance for the mullet men to try to pin their ears back and get some pressure.
They almost do.
Back and throw it.
Oh!
Batted! Down by
Boulay.
Jake Boulay. Boy, what a game he's having.
I know.
He's all over the field.
Did he make all 3 tackles? Well, all 3 plays right there.
He may have.
I know he made 2 for sure.
Heck of a series for Jake Boulay. As it looks like Edison's going to punt here. 8:23 left to go here in the 4th.
Got Isaac Thompson and Spencer Bliss back deep for the Rocks.
Looks like the Rocks are going to call a timeout here. Try to get some things straightened up. Probably one of these housekeeping things where Blake's going to remind them, watch the fake, make sure you read your keys, make sure the ball is punted before you do anything.
Yep.
Because, they faked one earlier, fooled everybody in the stadium, and you definitely don't want to let them back into this game right here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Edison did try something, considering they already did once in the game, and they need to do something. So Barnesville takes that timeout with 8:23 left to go in the 4th, and we'll see what Edison does right here.
So here, Edison looks like they're going to line up and punt the ball to 32, 4th and 10 here. Snap's going to be back to Sanders, and he's going to get the ball off, and it's not going to go very far though. It's going to land over on the sideline. We'll see where the official officially marks this off at.
About.
And he's still walking.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to say it went out of
The
bounds.
42.
The 42.
Yeah, not a real productive punt for Edison right there. Goes Barnesville, good field position.
So Barnesville looking to extend this lead here. Up 25 with 8:15 left to play. Looks like a couple new faces are in the game for the Rocks. Looks like junior Logan Shepard is going to take over at center for the Rocks.
Some whistles down the field. Speaking, someone's hurt for Edison. Number 20, Jaden Sanders. I thought he was hobbling around a little bit after that punt. Hopefully he's all right.
Maybe landed on it wrong or something. You hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Like we said, a couple new faces checking into the game for the Rocks. Also looks like number 64, Avery Klaus, is going to check into the game.
Yeah, this would be a good chance for Barnesville to give those guys that those like not second string, but the guys on the edge of playing some reps right here in case they ever have to go in for an emergency.
Yeah, you never know when a guy's going to get hurt down the stretch. You know, with the way the playoffs are this year, everyone's going to have a shot. So it's going to be crucial if someone goes down. The Rocks are going to have to step into those shoes, kind of like your brother's doing right here for Aiden.
Need as much experience as you can get.
Be 1st and 10 from the 42, and Hanson is going to pitch it out to Owen Wise. He's going to make a cut, and he's going to go! Makes another man miss. Runs through another.
Lower the shoulder. I love to see it.
Run there by Owen Wise. He's going to get down to about the 16-yard line. Made a couple guys miss, and at the last second, he made a man hurt.
I tell you, he runs hard. There's just so much talent in front of him already,
right.
And he's just younger than all those guys. And
he's a good back, you know, he's a junior. It was just one of those things where he's got two seniors right in front of him.
Yeah.
That are really good too. You can only put 11 guys on the field, but you wish you could have all of them.
Yeah.
Because he just made a couple nice runs here tonight, and he's going to look to punch one in here. So it'll be 1st and 10. Hanson's going to do the same thing and pitch out to Wise. He's going to make a cut, get back up inside, met by Vinny Marcino. Looks like he's going to get about 2 yards right there.
Clock's going to tick down to below 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. It's probably a smart move by the Rocks to take out Gage and Cameron to try to limit his injuries. You don't want anything bad happening towards the end of the game.
Looks like number 13, Luke Detling's going to check in. He's lined up at receiver at the bottom of your screen.
That's the younger brother of A.J. Detling.
Hannes is going to hand it off to Wise, and he's going to pick up a couple more yards. Looks like about a 2 or 3 yard gain. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Rocks here.
I tell you, the freshman class, the skill position, they have a lot of talent that I've seen so far, like Luke Detling, Duker Costello, Tayson Starr, just to mention a few.
You know, obviously, it looks like the junior high programs are doing really well, too. And that's what you want to see. You always want your future to be bright. And that they're as important to the program as your JV, too.
Mm-hmm. I believe both 7th and 8th grade are undefeated so far.
I believe you're right. Looks like Wise is going to rumble ahead for another 2 yards, and Blake Allen is calling for his kicking unit here, so it looks like Carpenter's going to attempt a field goal here to extend this lead to 28.
Look to redeem himself here after missing a field goal down Buckeye Local from the right hash.
This will be about a 26-yarder. Carpenter's kicks up, and he nailed it.
There we go.
Good
job by Gavin. Yep.
With 5:32 left to play here, partner. Looks like the Rocks are in good shape.
It's starting to dwindle down.
This is going to extend the lead to 18.
I imagine we'll see a lot of younger faces in there starting this series.
Some cleaner jerseys.
Yeah, it's a better way to put it. I see some substitution on the kickoff team already, so
Yeah,
there's definitely going to be some substitutions going on defense.
You know, although Edison's been off to a good start, it looks like Barnesville's had their way with them tonight. Edison, like we said, they started out 2-0, beating Kickoff Valley and also beating Toronto. So, I mean, the Rocks are going to put a halt to that winning streak, it looks like, tonight.
Yeah, let's go wait for the Rocks to get back on track after the loss last week against Beaver Local.
Carpenter's going to kick it off, and it looks like he's going to be fielded down around the 21-yard line. That's going to be fielded by Shreve, and he's going to get brought down. It looks like Chase Connor and Luke Detling in on the tackle.
Yeah, freshman.
Looks like Luke might have tripped him up, and Connor came and finished the job off.
Clean him up.
Looks like the statisticians here are going to give the credit to Mr. Detling. As he gets a nice reward from the Shamrock side.
Looks like Bryce Castle coming in. I'm trying to see who's going out to the huddle. Avery Klaus.
Like you said, definitely not a lot of new faces coming in here. Looks like Blake Allen's going to relieve a lot of these seniors here.
Yeah.
Their job looks to be done tonight, and a job well done, too.
Oh, yeah. Both teams have done a good job overall all night. Yeah, it's good that Barnesville's taking a lot of their starters out because you can't afford another injury tonight.
So it looks like the Rocks are going to stay with that 40 front, and as Klein's going to hand it off. That's to number 32.
Talon McClurg.
And he's going to get back to the line of scrimmage for the Wildcats. You know, Edison's a little bit bigger of a school than Barnesville, too.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Traditionally, they have a very good baseball program.
Oh, yeah.
They always make deep tournament runs and a beautiful facility there, too.
They had a pitcher a couple years back go down to Wright State.
Hot?
Yeah.
Logan Hot, I think.
I can't. Coach Butler would know his name, but I can't really remember off the top of my head.
Looks like Klein's going to hand it to his fullback. And that looks to be number 24, and that's Chase McClurg.
McClurg brothers, I imagine. Well, relatives, I should say.
Chase McClurg looks to be a freshman coming in at 5'7", 155. I imagine they're brothers.
Well, we have three Hannes's, and none of them are brothers, so.
I should just keep my mouth.
That's why I changed it to relatives.
Griffith's going to take the jet sweep, and he's going to try to get out and try to get back to the line of scrimmage. He might have gained a half a yard there for the Wildcats. That's going to bring up 4th and about 7 for Coach O'Brien here.
Speaking of saying that some people are brothers when they're not, my senior year, I remember a news article in the paper said that Aiden and I were brothers, and we got a kick out of that.
How many Hannes's do you think, what's the most that's ever been on a Shamrock team at the same time?
I couldn't tell you.
I mean, it's got to be 4 or 5 at least.
I know it was
at the same time.
Well, Kalen and myself. I don't think there were any more when you were in school.
No, I don't think so.
And then 3 my senior year.
Well, the big name when I was a senior was the Burkharts.
Yeah, Tanner, Matthew, and Bailey.
The 3 of them, and they weren't even related. Like distant cousins, like third cousins, same last name. Couldn't believe it.
Looks like number 4, Jordan Smith, younger brother of Orion Smith, is in the game.
Owen Wise was back to field this punt, but he's just going to let it roll down to the at the Shamrock 40, and that's where the Rocks will take over as C.J. Hannes is going to lead the troops out here again.
Looked like Osmayhue is in there as well. He was pretty sure he was banged up the last couple of weeks. This might be his first game back. So 3:24 left. The Rocks will take over.
Looks like a timeout's going to be used here. Edison might be changing some of their players too, as I see some newer faces out on the field. Looks like maybe another quarterback warming up down here for the Rocks. Or Hannes is throwing maybe, I'm not sure. Number 12.
Aiden Van Horn.
Aiden Van Horn, the freshman. Looks like he's taking snaps and it appears that he's going to go into the game and relieve CJ. You know, I heard Edison, they got a new turf field too, like a lot of other schools around the area.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of schools this year got turf.
For whatever reason, I don't know if a lot of grants were given out maybe or what happened, but Shadyside did, Beaver Local,
Indian Creek.
Edison, Indian Creek.
There's a lot of schools in the valley.
Surprising start for Shadyside as they're 0-2.
Really? I didn't see that. I know that new field's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
It looks
I saw
good.
a picture on Twitter today and I was impressed.
Was it the Tigers? Yeah, that looked good.
They had the Tigers printed out in
Yeah.
black and orange on their hill. Here's going to be a pitch, and it's going to be out the Bryce
Hall.
Hall. He's going to get to the edge, and he's going to make a man hurt.
Man, I told you, he runs hard.
Bryce Hall.
It looked like a nice block was thrown by Bryce Castle.
Looks like he's going to get brought down around the 38-yard line, so a nice run there.
Number 1, Tayson Starr is checking into the game.
Looks like Shadyside is up tonight, 50-20 over Magnolia on that new turf.
Number 26, Jackson Wiley at fullback.
It's going to be 1st and 10. Van Horn's going to turn around and give it to Hall.
Here's some pads popping again.
That's right. You know, these younger guys look like they're eager to get in.
I mean, I can hear that through the headset.
Boy, did I miss the sound of pads
Yeah.
cracking. And
Speaking of football coming back, Kansas City really put a whooping on the Texans
boy, did
last
they
night.
ever. Looked like the Texans are really hurting not having DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
I mean, David Johnson came in right off the rip and made an impact, but after that, they just didn't have the offensive firepower.
Nope.
So it'll be 2nd and about 7 for Van Horn. He's going to hand it off.
So Wiley, Jackson Wiley.
Jackson Wiley. It looks like he's going to pick up about 2. 2:05 left here in the 4th as the Rocks are just trying to burn this clock out and get out of here with the win, and they're going to head to 2-1, it looks like.
Looks like 27, Corbin Wise is running the play in for the Rocks. It's Corbin's first year playing. He's doing pretty well for never playing before.
That's right.
Give a little shout out to sorry, I lost my train of thought.
So Hannes is going to pitch out to Bryce Hall, and he's going to get slapped in the backfield, make a man miss, and get back close to the line of scrimmage. He's going to lose 2, but he fought hard to get back to the line of scrimmage there. Maybe lost about 1 or 2.
I finally remember what I was going to say now, and give a shout out to Colton's little brother, Noah Strauss, helping him out with his footage down for the game. He'll be making the highlights available on Wednesday. Is that right? And Colton is also live streaming Martin's Ferry's game with UN Local. His brother Drew is helping him down there.
Once again, an excellent job by Colton
Oh, yeah.
and his brother Noah, giving us the opportunity to live stream this game. As we're all very fortunate, just so everyone can watch the game. Obviously, only about 300 fans here tonight. It's not like it usually is here at Shamrock Stadium.
Oh,
but
no.
the fans are so loud and proud, and we're just glad that we can broadcast this
Oh,
game
yeah.
so everyone can watch it.
I'd like to thank Barnesville Schools for allowing us to do this again. Another shout out to Ohio Hills and Ferrum, the local gym in Barnesville.
Also, just a reminder, you can donate to the Barnesville Athletic Department on Venmo at Barnesville-Shamrocks. Those donations are greatly appreciated. Obviously missing out on some of those ticket sales there as the gates cannot be opened to everybody. So it looks like Edison's going to try to get something going here, right here before the end of the regulation. And that looked to be number 23, Takai Jet. There's going to be about 30
seconds
and ticking here left in the ball game as Edison probably got time for another play.
Yeah, give these younger guys another play.
Looks like Orion Smith, Shepard, Klaus, Spangenberg, a few of the names of the guys that are in for Barnesville.
Nice little cut there
And another run
by Jet.
And he's going to maybe get to about the first down, but that's going to be it, folks, as Barnesville's going to head to 2-1 with a huge win tonight over the undefeated Edison local Wildcats, as the Rocks win tonight 38-10. I don't know about you, partner, but I had a lot of fun tonight and extremely thankful to be here.
Yeah, thank you again to Strauss Films and Barnesville Schools for allowing us to do this, and hopefully we'll see you guys again next week.
That's right, and the Rocks will take on the Shenandoah Zeps, who are now 2-1 next week, and that'll be here at Shamrock Stadium, as we will be broadcasting again next week. So you can find us here on Strauss Films YouTube page. So thank you all for tuning in, and we are signing off, and good night.